Hello all, you're welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you how to draft the basic bodies for little children. So if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, do well to hit on that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. So let's get started. I'll be using the standard measurement for a 2 to 3-year-old child. So this is a size chart for a 6-month-old child to 14 years old. Okay, so I have marked the top of my paper as my starting point. So now I would insert my measurements. The measurements we'll be using are the length of the bodice, the shoulder, the chest measurement, and the waist measurement. Okay, and the neck depth and neck width. So now I'll be placing the length of the bodice. So that is 9 inches. So I would mark at 9 inches. I'm not adding allowance yet. That is allowance for joining it to the lower part. So I just want to make a straight line. So that is why I'm also marking my 9 inches here. So now I'll draw a straight line. So this is the length of the bodice. So I have it here. So now I'll place the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement is 9 inches. So divide by 2, that is 4.5. So I'll mark at 4.5. Okay, so that is it. So now I would also place the neck width. So for a child of 2 to 3, the neck width will be 2.5. Okay, then the depth also I use 2.5. So that is it. So I would mark it like so. So there's something I want you to note. If your dress will be having sleeve, you add ½ inch at this shoulder measurement for joining the bodice with the sleeve. Okay, but if it's not going to have sleeve, you leave it like this for now, but we'll still add ½ inch later on to all the armhole. That is we'll add ½ inch round the armhole for folding the armhole with the lining. So we'll get to that. So at this shoulder mark here, that is the shoulder measurement, I will come down by ½ inch. That is for the shoulder slope. So for adults I use 1 inch, for children I use ½ inch. So connect that to the neck width. And I have it there. So now I'll place the armhole length. So you don't need to measure the armhole on the child. What you do, the measurement you placed as your shoulder measurement, that is what you take as the armhole plus ½ inch. So what I have here is 4.5. So I'll add ½ inch to that. That will be 5 inches. So this is for my armhole length. So 5 inches. Then I'll connect. Okay, so having done this, we'll place the chest measurement. So the chest measurement is 22 inches, and that is also the same measurement with the waist. Okay, so 22 inches divided by 4, that is 5.5. okay, so I'll add ½ inch for ease at the armpit area. So 5.5 plus half, that is 6 inches. So I would mark 6 inches here. So this is my chest measurement. So for children, it is chest measurement we use because they don't have bust yet. Okay, so that is it there. So now for the armhole, I'll place my armhole curve. So what I'll do is to find the midpoint of this line here. So this is 5, the midpoint is 2.5. So I'll come in by ½ inch. So come in by 1/2 inch and create the armhole curve. So I'll just connect this to this edge and I would make my curve. So just curve it, okay? So this is the armhole curve. Now I would also place the waist measurement, which is also 5.5. That is 22 divided by 4. That is 5.5. I'm not adding ease yet. So this is it. So okay, before I connect, if you're making dress for children, you might want to add ease. Okay, you don't want to make it exactly the body of the child, so you can add about 1/2 inch to 1 inch ease, so that it will be a little bit loose. And that is why we usually add belt most times to children's dress, so that you can tie it at the back to give the fitting. But it is always good to have ease because children grow often. So I'll just add 1/2 inch. So by adding 1/2 inch, what it simply means is that I have added 1 inch to the front panel and 1 to the back, because the paper or the fabric be on fold. So if you add 1/2 inch, what it means is that you have added 1 inch to the front and 1 inch to the back. So that is 2 inches altogether. So 1/2 inch is okay as the ease. So now I can connect. So connect it like so. So what we have here now is the exact measurement. So we'll be adding allowance. So first of all, I'll create the neckline. So guys, I make the neckline curve. You have it here. So we'll be adding allowance all round on this. So at this down part, the allowance I'll be adding here is for joining it to the skirts, that is to the lower part of the dress. While here we'll be adding our seam allowance. Then at this shoulder we'll also be adding 1/2 inch allowance for turning. So by the time you turn with your lining, you get the exact shoulder. But if you don't add, by the time you turn with your lining, you'll be reducing the shoulder. Okay, so instead of having a bow shoulder, you might be having a slim shoulder. So that's why you need to add your 1/2 inch. But if you'll be adding sleeve to the dress, you will not need to add the 1/2 inch. All you need is just to add your shoulder 1/2 inch here. You won't need to add it around the armhole. So I hope this is clear. So now I'll go ahead and add my allowance all around. So I'll be adding 1/2 inch here for joining it to the lower part of the dress. At this side, I'll be adding 1 inch seam allowance. So this is it. So I'll connect this. First of all, connect this. So this is it. So connect it to this side. So I have it here. Now I'll also add 1/2 inch all around the armhole. Okay, so what you do, just from here you add 1/2 inch. Add your 1/2 inch and you take it all around. So from here to, you're coming out again by 1/2 inch. So just from every point of the armhole, you come out by 1/2 inch. Okay, and you connect it. So just carefully connect it. You have it there. So the essence of doing this, by the time you have turned in with your lining, your shoulder will remain how it should. Okay, so that is why you need it. Same at the neckline too. So you need this. So by the time you turn in with your lining, you have the exact neckline you desire. Instead of it, if you don't do that, by the time you turn in with your lining, it will become deeper than what you expect, or than what you should have. So you also go up by 1/2 inch at the neckline. here, you just come out by a half inch and you connect it. So this is actually not compulsory, but I do this because from experience, by the time you have joined, like I said, you have it going deeper than the usual neckline. So but when you have extended it up, so you use this half inch now to turn in with your lining, then you still have the normal neckline you desire. So that is it. So at the shoulder too, come up by half inch for joining the dress at the shoulder. So that is the shoulder seam allowance. So at the shoulder here, you still come up by half inch, and also here you come up by half inch, then you connect it. So everything we are doing here will also reflect at the back. Okay, so you also do same, or you use this front to cut the back. So you can still extend here just to differentiate it. So this is just what we'll be cutting out. So all the outer lines is all we'll be cutting out. So this is our basic bodice for a girl child. So we'll cut this out and every other thing. So that is it. So this is for sleeveless dress. So now I'll cut it out. So I have it here. Okay, so I'm using this to cut the back. So I have marked out my 1 inch zipper allowance. So I'll place the front panel on it like so. Okay, so I will cut out, but there's little thing to be done. The neckline of the back, depending on what you want. Sometimes you might want it deeper, you might want it v-neck, and sometimes you might want it higher. So for the standard, 1 inch is the standard. So I'm using 1 inch for the back neckline. Then remember, the back armhole is not as deep. That is, the front armhole is deeper than the back armhole by half inch. So that's half inch. We need to bring it out. That is to say, this is the front armhole. So the back armhole will be 1 inch. Sorry, it will be half inch outer than the front armhole. So I'll go ahead and do that. So make sure your paper is not moving. You can hold it down with paper tape. So I've held my paper down with paper tape because I don't want it moving while I'm placing my armhole and my neckline. Okay, so now for the armhole, at this midpoint, just come out by half inch. So that is it for the back armhole. Just come out by half inch, then you connect like so. So you can still do this with your French curve. All you need to do is just to place it and make sure that it passes through that, okay, half inch. Okay, so it's a bit tricky, but you can do it. So now you just make your armhole. So you can just connect this to this point like so, then you curve it to this end here. So this is your back armhole. Okay, so I have it there. So for the neckline, this is the original line here. So you need to bring it out. Remember, this is the original line. Okay, that is the initial line. So I'm just bringing it out. That is the shoulder line. So it is from here now. I would mark my 1 inch back neck depth. So this is it. Then I'll connect it to the width. So you can just connect. Okay, so this is my back neckline. So I'll still apply that half inch, okay, at the back neckline. So I'm coming up by half inch, here, and I'll connect it to this point here since it's the same. So the width has to be the same. So I hope this is clear. So the back neckline is 1 inch deep. Then the ½ inch I took in the front, like I explained, for turning the lining, I also applied it at the back. So by the time I turn my lining at the back, I would arrive at the neckline I should have. Okay, so just be sure you have ½ inch. So that is it. The marker is making it bolder than it should be, so you can just use your curve to make it straight. Okay, to have it, so this is where it should be. Okay, so this is just it about the back. Now I go ahead and cut. Okay, every other thing is the same. I'll go ahead and cut it out. So I have it here. Okay, so I have my back and my front panel, and this is simply how to draft the basic bodies for girls, for children. Okay, so just to make it clear, you can just use the same thing. You don't need it, but just want to just extend it so it doesn't look like a mistake. So have it here. Okay, so this is it, the front and the back. So this is your zipper allowance. So with this you can make a dress for a 2 to 3 year old child. So that is it, and if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Just hit on that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that I don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. I upload videos on this channel every week. So see you, bye.